Good morning, grade 2s, and welcome back to WorksheetCloud. I hope you've had a good morning so far, and I hope you've had some time to play and to rest a bit and to read while you're at home because that's very important. So we are going to do some grade 2 maths together today, and if you have questions during the lesson or afterwards, you can ask mommy or daddy to send an email to grade2@worksheetcloud.com. And we will try and get back to you with the answers as soon as possible. So for those of you who haven't seen me before, my name is Teacher Taryn, and we are going to do grade 2 maths together because that's what I teach. And we are going to learn how to halve. We are going to do some halving. So what do you need for this lesson? You're going to need some counters. Now anything that you can count, like pegs from the washing line, clothing pegs, or some pencils, or some Lego blocks, or anything that you have at home that you can count. So let's count together. We don't need our counters for now, so put them to the side. We are going to count together in twos. We're going to start at 2, and if we count forwards in twos, we are going to land on 4, and then 6, and then 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. And now I want to know who woke up this morning with their thinking caps and put them on, ready to count past 20 in twos. 22, 24, 26, 28, 30. And I hope that you've started to see a pattern that is forming, because when we count in twos, our numbers are always going to end either on a 2, on a 4, on a 6, on an 8, or on a 0, all the tens. And that is because those are all the even numbers. And that is important to remember when we start halving. So halving, what does halving actually mean? I have 4 apples over here, and I've got 2 friends, Peter and Jane, over there. And now I'm going to halve these apples, and I'm going to give 1 to Peter and 1 to Jane, and 1 to Peter and 1 to Jane. And now I've halved them, and each person gets exactly the same amount. So each of them got 2. And now if you can remember, one of our lessons that we've done was fractions. And we had a chocolate, and we wanted to share that chocolate between my friend and I. So there's the chocolate. We're sharing them between 2 people, and we broke the chocolate into 2 equal pieces. We have half of the chocolate. We've halved it. And each piece is exactly the same size. So when we halve something, then we split it into 2, and each side will have exactly the same amount. So let's have a look at the number 2. And I want to halve 2, and you're going to do it with me. And this is where you're going to need your counters. So in front of you, I want you to put 2 of whatever you are counting. And we're going to share 1 to the one side and the other one to the other side. And you're going to do it along with me. So whenever you see the blue dots moving, you move your counters. So we've halved 2. That means that we have 1 on either side. So let's go and fill it in on our table. Here we've got 2, and half of 2 is 1. Okay, now you need 4 counters in front of you. Quickly pack 4 counters in front of you. Now we're going to halve it. We're going to put 1 to that side and 1 to that side. And we're going to keep sharing so that now we're going to have 2 on either side. And we have half of 4 is 2. Now this might seem very easy for you, but it is very important what we are going to do later. So let's do our next number. Put 6 counters in front of you. Now we're going to share those 6 counters, 1 to either side. And now we've shared 6 counters and we have 3 on either side. So half of 6 is 3. Now our numbers are starting to get a bit bigger. So now we have 8 in front of us. Put 8 counters in front of you. And now we're going to share those counters to the side so that each side has the same amount. And I'm moving my counters, and I hope that you are moving your counters. And now we've shared out the 8 and we've halved it, that both sides are going to have 4. So half of 8 is 4. Now we have 10 counters. I hope you put your 10 counters in front of you, and we're going to start sharing to the side so that each side has the same amount. Move your counters as well to the side so that each side is going to have, yes, 5. Each side is going to have 5 because half of 10 is 5. So, why have we been doing this? And we don't need our counters anymore, so you can push them to the side. We've been doing this because if we know that half of 2 is 1, then in grade 2 we can say that half of 20 is 10. And we can say half of 4 is 2. Then we can say that half of 40 is 20. Do you start seeing the pattern? Half of 6 is 3. So half of 60 is 30. Half of 8 is 4. So half of 80 is 40. And half of 10 is 5. So half of 100 is 50. And this is what we are going to do today, is halving these bigger numbers. But let's see what it looks like. So we said that half of 2 is 1, but half of 20 is 10. So we're going to share our 10s over, so we've got 10 on either side. So half of 20 is 10. Now we're going to look at 40. We said that half of 4 is 2. So half of 40 is 20. But let's see how that looks when we've got our groups of 10. So we've got 10, 20, 30, 40. And we're going to put 2 groups of 10 on either side. So we've got half of 40 is 20. Here we've got 60. And we know that half of 6 is 3. So half of 60 is 30. So we're going to take our groups of 10. Let's count together. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So now we're going to share our groups of 10 to the side so that we've got 30 on either side. Now we have 80, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. And now we're going to share our groups of 10 because half of 8 is 4. So half of 80 is 40. And we're going to share groups of 10 so that we've got 40 on either side. And our last one we're going to do is 100. And we are used to our 100 block looking like this. All the groups of 10 right next to each other. So let's count. We've got 10 groups of 10. We're going to count in tens for every pink line that appears. So we've got 1, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100. Yes, we've got 100 blocks. But now we know that half of 10 is 5. So half of 100 will be 50. And we're just going to move the whole 50 to that side and that 50 to that side. Okay, so now we've seen that half of 20 is 10, half of 40 is 20, half of 60 is 30, half of 80 is 40, half of 100 is 50. But we've missed out some numbers. If we count in tens, there are numbers in between there that we have missed. And we need to halve those numbers as well. So we've missed out the 10, the 30, the 50, the 70, and the 90. And I'm going to show you a very clever trick of how we can remember what half of those numbers are. So we already know that half of 10 is 5. So instead of using our counters, we're going to look at our one group of 10 over here. And let's look. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And if I want to split my 10, all I'm going to do is I'm going to break my group of 10 into 5 blocks and 5 blocks. And I'm sure you've done this in class as well with your Unifix blocks. And half of 10 is 5. So now we've got 30 and we have 3 groups of 10. So now exactly like we did it earlier, we are going to share our groups of 10 to the side. So we're going to share the one group of 10 to that side. We're going to share the other group of 10 to the other side. But now I have a problem because now I've got one group of 10. I can't put it to the left or to the right. I've got to do something with this group of 10. And I know because I said half of 10 was 5, I can give 5 to that side. And I can give 5 to that side. And I already had 10. And now I'm just going to add the 5. So half of 30 will be 15. And where does that 15 come from? The 10 plus the 5 that I've shared to the two sides. And that will be 15. So now let's look at 50. We've done half of 10 is 5. Half of 30 is 15. And now let's look at half of 50. We're going to share our blocks. 2 on that side. And 2 on that side. And now I know I've got 20 and a 20. And this last one here in the middle, I've got to split because half of 10 is 5 to that side and 5 to that side. And now I'm going to just add my 2. I had 20 and I add the 5. So 20 plus 5 is 25. So half of 50 is 25. And where did that come from? The 20s that I shared out and the last one that I broke up into 5s. Okay, let's look at 70. I now have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. I have 7 groups of 10 and now I need to share them and I'm just going to share them to either side again. So I'm going to put 3 on that side and 3 on that side. Let's quickly check, do we still have 70? We have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Yes, I've only shared what I had. And now I've got this last group of 10 here in the middle. And who can think quickly, what have we been doing with that last group of 10? We need to split it up, yes. I put the 5 over there and that 5 on the other side. I already shared out my 30 and my 30 and now I add the 5 and the 5. So that would give me 35. So half of 70 is 35. So let's quickly check. I have 10, 20, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. So let's look at half of 90, and this is the last one we're going to do today. And now we've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. We have 9 groups of 10 in front of us, and now we're going to share them again to the different sides. We're going to say there are 4 on that side and 4 groups of 10 on that side. And let's quickly check, do we have 90? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Yes, we do. And this side has 40 and this side has 40. And now we've got this last one here in the middle. And what are we going to do with that? We are going to share it to the two sides. And we're going to split that 10 into 2 groups of 5. And now we've got 40 and we've added a 5 and 40 and we've added a 5. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44 and 45. So half of 90 will be 45. So let's quickly go and fill in what we learned today. We learned that half of 10 is 5. We knew that already. But half of 30 we said was 15. And half of 50 is 25. Half of 70 is 35. And half of 90 is 45. So you have been incredibly clever today, grade 2s. And I hope that you're going to practice your halving. And thank you for watching, and I hope you have a lovely afternoon further. And this lesson was brought to you by WorksheetCloud. Goodbye, grade 2s.